Hello. Welcome to the 13th episode of the You Are Beautiful podcast. I am Jordan, and this is Mo.
Welcome back, Jordan. How are you doing?
Welcome back, Mo. Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. We kind of slacked off last week.
It was Mo's birthday,
It was
and we were on a boat.
it was Christine and Mo's birthday.
It was Christine and Mo's birthday.
Christine's gonna get mad at you.
Sorry, Christine. I love you.
But yes, one of my clients who's been with me for about 3 years now, born 2 days before me, August 29th, 1985, and I'm 31st. We had a joint birthday. We had been talking about it for a couple of years now. And for us, yes, we were celebrating our birthday, but it was a chance to get all the clients who've been with us for a while, or anybody who was on our team, to get together and have some fun. And then there were 20 of us. Everybody on that boat was part of the Grandmaster Games team. And even the captain, Tony. Shout out to Tony. Great job. And yes, if anybody ever needs a boat captain, hit me up. My boy, Tony, is awesome. And I think I want to say we were also celebrating, for me, your 1 year.
Oh,
Yeah. 1 year with me.
we were
Good job.
celebrating that?
Yes, I was. Fuck yeah. Good job.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I
Good
made it
job.
a whole year with this guy.
This guy. When we did our first podcast, how long ago has it been?
I don't
It's
know,
been
a
a-
few months ago?
A few months ago. You were around your 7th, 8th month mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Made some progress since then. So let's talk about your year,
Okay.
and not specifically with me training. Let's just training in general. How has the progress been in 1 year compared to what you were expecting?
Oh, well, my progress has been phenomenal. I mean, my whole body has changed its shape, reshifted. Definitely a lot stronger, healthier, happier. Versus what I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect because I've never worked out like this before. I just had faith that something would happen if I stayed consistent and just worked through everything and believed in the program, and it all turned out for the best.
Good. I want to. Sorry, sometimes I just don't say. I only say good, and I don't have a lot of input. But that's probably when you've answered my question fully,
Okay.
really well. So I'm also trying to get a little bit more deep into it, because there's plenty of programs out there, a lot of that people follow, and I've tried a bunch of stuff, and I also don't want to lead you into an answer, but let's talk specifics. Did you have to train as many days a week as you ended up training?
Nope.
How many days were you expecting to train when you were starting the program with me?
I always was under the impression that if you wanted to be very fit and healthy, that you would have to bust your ass and work out like 7 days a week, like morning and night, and just like go as hard as you possibly can.
Okay, good. That's great input. So that's what most people think. And that's actually, I've done that. And I actually have trained clients like that too. So there's nothing wrong with thinking like that, because there's a big part of the community, the fitness community, that's pushing that, and people are seeing results from that, and it's scary. And I have trained like that, and I did see progress, but my personal opinion is that's not the best way to train. But there's nothing wrong with thinking, expecting that you were going to do that. Also, training wise, why did you pick me as a trainer? again, and I know I've asked you that question, but like, what did you expect? Like, what were you getting into? Like, for example, like if you're going to let's say a a yoga program, right? People are drawn to that because you're like, all right, it's not going to put on that much muscle. I don't want to get too big. It's going to be safer. My joints are going to be better. I want to be more flexible, whatever reason you have for doing that, but I want to be more flexible. Or maybe you see the physiques of most of the people who are doing yoga, mostly females, and are like, all right, this is what I want, so this is what I'm going towards. Or if I'm hiring a powerlifting coach, I want to be strong as hell and not worry about what my body looked like. So based on that, what were you looking for? What were you trying to do physique wise? Were you trying to lose weight? Were you trying to build muscle? Where were you trying to go? And why did you get drawn to my program?
I wanted to reshape my body. By the time I had lost a lot of the weight, I felt very soft and flabby, and I wanted more muscle to pull everything back up and just look like a nice body. Like, I'd worked really hard to lose that weight, but I was still like just blah and like not satisfied with the shape. So I knew that I had to build some muscle to change my physique. And that's what you do. So that's why I stayed.
Right. Awesome. So you've seen progress in your body tightening up.
Yes.
And stuff. So, all right. So let's say so you lost about 30, 40 pounds on your own.
I lost like 70 pounds.
Wow. That's amazing. Like
Yeah.
70 pounds on your own, but then your body wasn't as tight as you wanted it to be. And then you went to this program. So let's say I'm an individual who has those 30, 40 pounds. Let's say I'm significantly more overweight than you were when you started. So I'm going all over the place. Let's say I'm somebody who has who's like, let's say, obese, or it's like 70, 80 pounds overweight. And they listen to your story and say, okay, so first you lost all that weight on your own, and then you went to a trainer to tighten it back up. So if I have all that weight on me, the first thing I should do is lose that weight before they start a strength and conditioning program like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not?
Knowing what I know now and what you've taught me, and had I known this before, I would have done things a lot differently had I known you before. But I was just blind, and there's so much information that gets put into our heads in this fitness industry, and you just, focus on the scale and you focus on these things that don't really matter. But now I know that losing that 70 pounds, I also lost a ton of muscle. And I now know that had I started with you when I was 220 pounds, I probably would be a lot stronger now, and the fat would have melted off of my body with the muscle still there. But instead, I'm doing it backwards because I can't do anything the easy way.
Right. And the honest answer, the reason why I found this out was because I did the exact same thing. I lost a bunch of weight on my own, but I wasn't tight enough. And then I was still soft. I still couldn't see my abs. My arms were flabby. My butt would jiggle. So I'm a dude. I mean, girls have some sort of jiggle in their butt, but dudes shouldn't. Well, I don't even want to say straight dudes, but okay, if you're a guy and you're lean, your butt's not jiggling. If you're a girl and you're still leanish, there's gonna be a little bit of jiggle wiggle, and that's okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So I lost a bunch of weight too, and I'm assuming you ate less food, did a bunch of cardio, didn't lift a lot of weights, and
Right.
I did the same thing. I was running every single day, and by the time I lost all that weight, I was really, really skinny. I wasn't strong at all, and the flab was still there. So then I had to spend another. Okay, don't get nervous. You're not gonna spend that long, but I spent like about 5-6 years trying to reverse my metabolism, because at that point I still wasn't eating enough. And I was doing too much cardio. But good thing to point out is like we both agree that when we were overweight, when we were carrying a lot of body fat, the best thing to do would still follow just a strength and conditioning program, not do cardio, and eat lots of red meat,
Mm-hmm.
which you've been doing. So you thought that, going back to the first question about how hard you and how much you thought you were gonna train. So you thought you were gonna be working out 7 days a week, then cardio on top of it, meal prepping.
Mm-hmm.
How many days have you been going?
4 days a week.
4 days a week. And compare, I mean, how much do you sweat on a regular basis?
Not much.
So that's pretty, so like, I really want to point out, like, we don't sweat
Yeah.
during our workouts. Like, really, like, apart from the heat making us sweat, the work, and maybe every once in a while we hit a hard set of squats or maybe leg presses, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, we're not tired
Right.
going out of the gym. And then joint health. We didn't really talk about that too much. How was your joint health, your knees, your shoulders, all that stuff, when you're doing the stuff on your own, on the way to dropping the body fat? Did you have any issues?
I never really had any joint issues that I can think of. Most of that is like work related, you know, just hands and elbows and stuff.
So you didn't really.
But I would say though, like if I really think about it, yeah, I don't have as much of those pains anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you came in pretty. I mean, you weren't broken from a bunch of shit that you had done, so your knees, joints, and everything was really good. And actually, because you haven't spent a lot too much time working out in your early years doing a crappy program, so that was actually good for you too. And that's what I recommend people. It's you're better off doing nothing than a really really bad program. That's going to be detrimental to your joints. And this brings me to a good point. So like, let's compare the workouts that you were doing to lose weight and compared to what you were doing now.
Okay.
I mean, weight wise, like, how different is the weight was the weight when you were working out on your own compared to what you were doing now?
The weight of what I could move or my body?
Or no, as in like the amount of weights, the weights that you were using when you were working out, like the dumbbells and then stuff like that.
Yeah, I wasn't using dumbbells.
Uh-huh.
It was all like at home workouts, body weight, you know, so we're talking like air squats, like modified push-ups, like, you know, star crunches, like weird things like that.
So okay, so you weren't barely using any dumbbell,
Yeah, no,
anything and all that.
Yeah, it was all at home, so I was just following along
Yeah.
with video, and there was no weight involved except for my own weight on my body.
So now you're squatting close to 85, 95 pounds, leg presses around 200, which is very significant. And you're shoulder pressing the barbell, which is 45, and with some weight, 55 pounds. Incline dumbbell presses with 20s, 25s. You can easily do 100 pounds on the pull downs. And for some reason, you can hip thrust over 300 pounds. Your
For some reason.
Yeah, your deadlift is around 115. So from doing nothing, those are significant numbers. And what I want to point out is a lot of people always say like lifting heavier weights will make you bulky and give you joint problems and all that stuff. And I've really pushed you to where you're doing a 3-rep max, 1-rep max, and we've been working out for a year, and we've really haven't had any joint issues, no injuries, nothing. The only injuries
Only from my own clumsiness or the injuries, but not from the gym. They did not take place in the gym either.
Yeah, that's interesting. All the injuries that my clients that happen to my clients, they all happen outside the gym. But yes, this thing that is perpetuated throughout the industry, or just in it's kind of common knowledge, where which is not true. That if you lift heavier weights for for less reps, you can injure yourself. You can only injure yourself if you're lifting with bad form, or actually, what happens is you have a certain form when you're lifting lighter weight, but you change everything when you go too heavy. So as long as your form remains exactly the same with a lightweight compared to the heavyweight, you're not really going to injure yourself. So all my clients, whether they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, a couple in their 60s, they're all lifting the heaviest weight they possibly can between the 5 to 12 reps. And I honestly haven't seen any injuries.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
In the year I've been there, no, none.
So, anyways, so you're working out not 4 days a week instead of 6-7 days a week, not doing any cardio. And we talked about this before, but how's the metabolism been? Food intake. Have you been experimenting? Have you been eating more, less, fluctuations?
I feel like I've been eating more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I do have fluctuations at times. There's some times where I eat a little bit more carbs, and I notice that in my body. What else? My metabolism. I do feel, though, like it isn't hard to get that off once it does come on, but I think it's natural to have these fluctuations, and you just have to like stay on track and not let it get you down, and just keep your eye on the prize and keep going. If you're having like a rough time, a rough spot, just wake up the next day and start off on a good foot. Like, don't sit there and beat yourself up and, you know, completely spiral out of control.
That's a good point that you're bringing up right now, is that now what I get from what you're saying is you're a little bit more relaxed.
Yes.
Every once in a while, we have these sprints where we dial everything in and tighten everything up. We'll drop more body fat, build more muscle. But for the most part, what I've noticed now that with you, you're less worried about having a cheat meal here and there. You had some I don't want to say bad weeks. I want to say fun weeks. You know, you've had some fun where you slacked off on the diet a little bit here and there, and your weight went up. And I'm like, just instead of overtraining and overcompensating or getting stressed out because you gain a few pounds, don't go make up for a week of eating where you weren't super disciplined by overtraining the next week, going in 5 days a week, doing more cardio or cutting down calories more. Whatever got you to where you are is what's going to keep you there and give you more progress. So what I recommend and is what you did. You just went back on Monday, kept everything the same, just didn't overfeed your body like you were doing the week before, and the body kind of tightened up and went back to where it was. So
yeah, so don't like get yourself all worked up. Like, I know that that's hard, and it's just like a mental block, and it's challenging when you're working so hard and have put so much time in, but like, we're human bodies. Like, we're not robots. Like, you're gonna have some fluctuation, and it's okay. You just have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to stay on track after your little slip up, if you even want to call it a slip up.
So I do want to point out that now you are probably one of the most disciplined people I've trained ever.
Wow.
So you have completely given up alcohol.
Yes.
Right? You have gone about 3 to 5 days straight not eating a single gram of carbs.
Yeah.
You've cut back just recently on your wheat intake. You started off with really, 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 really crappy form. It's like everybody else. And movement pattern wise, you have one of the best movement patterns in the entire facility. So now that it's been 1 year,
Special.
1 year, and Now, if I describe you to one of our viewers, this person doesn't drink alcohol. If you really want to, you can go weeks, months without having cheat meals. Give up sugar and stay dialed in. And actually, you kind of messed yourself up. Tell me about your injury. Not recently, a few months ago.
Oh, that one. The one where I fell
Mm-hmm.
when I was playing freeze tag with children, and I just tripped and flew and landed on my side, and I think I like maybe bruised a rib or like tore something in there. I had like some knee scrapes, and my ankle was a little messed up, but not that bad. The rib was really what was bothering me. Yeah. Completely sober, just playing with children, falling and hurting myself.
And how long were those owies there for? Because they were kind of significant.
It was probably like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. How many days did you miss in the gym because of it?
I don't think I missed any, did I?
0. So you
Yeah.
didn't take 1 day off in the gym.
Nope.
A little birdie told me that you were on crutches a couple of days ago. Is that true?
Yes.
What happened?
I was walking down a dark set of stairs in high heels.
Uh-huh.
Again, completely sober. See, this is another reason why it's good I don't drink. If I'm this clumsy sober, just imagine how bad I was when I was drinking. Anyway, just missed a step in the dark and my ankle rolled and I couldn't put any weight on it the next day that I woke up. Had to miss a trip to see my family because I couldn't walk through an airport, and ended up on crutches just to kind of get through that day.
Oh, nice. And then you missed a day at the gym because of it?
No,
You still went in.
I still went in.
All right. So have you always been this person who can just be all fucked up, still go to the gym, cut out alcohol, now just stay disciplined, go just eat red meat and eggs, straight up, have perfect form?
No, I have not always been this person.
So you're telling me anybody who's sitting and watching this right now, they've never trained in their life, eating like shit, can get up, and now that's pretty significantly disciplined. Like dialed in your diet, have been going to the gym straight 1 year, not missing it. So what advice would you give to somebody you're like, hey, I kind of feel like a pussy compared to you. I can't do this.
Well, I've felt like that before, and I guess what I would say is what really helped me get on track and start building the discipline was to make small, short-term goals, something that seemed attainable, and I would find a way to reward myself once I hit that goal, and I would just keep going. And through that habit, it formed a habit of discipline through that. So you can't look at it as this huge, daunting thing like I need to lose 50 pounds and change my body shape and all of that. Like, just focus on the little victories, and that momentum will start to roll, and you're just not going to be able to stop it. You're going to be proud of yourself. You're going to be, you're going to be able to have that to fuel you, to push you further. Because if you can overcome these little things, you can keep going, and the new things don't seem as scary. The bigger things don't seem as scary.
So what you're saying, it's a slow transition to where you
Yeah.
gained.
It was slow, but I was determined. Like, I didn't want to give up, even if you make it to a 10-pound loss, like, don't give up, keep going. Like, you don't want to gain all that back. You don't want to lose your progress. So you just have to, like, believe in yourself, push yourself a little bit,
But so I didn't really have a direction for this, but like we've heard all this stuff so many times, like, oh, believe in yourself, keep pushing, and this and that. But it's hard for me to kind of pinpoint that one thing in a person that brings them to this point where you came, because you had injuries. Don't know, but like everybody has financial hiccups here and there, personal stuff, this and that, and you run your own business too, so that has stress on its own stress that can pull you away from your from working out, keeping your diet checked in. But you know, it's very, out of 10-15 people that sign up with me, there's only one person like you, Cynthia, Elle, Christine, Liz, Sabrina, that actually go through the entire journey. And I've seen this, like everybody has their problems, me included. But it's or maybe what I'm trying to get at is trying to understand, maybe coming from you, is what's that one thing that makes people go all the way up here? Because like you and I, like I want to point out, we're just random nobodies who just kept on doing this, you know.
Maybe it's like stubbornness. Maybe it's like that determination, like nothing's gonna freaking stop me.
You know, like
we are pretty stubborn people. Like all of us kind of are, if you think about it.
So it's like I guess you just have to have an obsessive mentality of getting better. Because throughout the time I've had these discussions with multiple people, and we still haven't gotten to the real reason why we just kept going. Because like I was working out for 10 years, 9-10 years, and I was all the way down to like 135 pounds. And then I decided to get my knee surgery so I could learn more and still grow. And after 4-5 years after that, I realized that I was doing the wrong stuff. And I redid my programming and kept going and going and going. You kept and I'm pretty sure if my program didn't work, you wouldn't have stopped. You would have found someone else and someone else or something else until you actually got something that stuck with it, that stuck with you. Same thing with Cynthia. The best results I've ever given to anybody, when you take into consideration where we started and where we ended. I think it's just, I hate to say it, it's like whether people have it or you don't.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that desire. Like we all also are very aware of the fact that we want to grow into better people. And like, this is just the physical aspect. But once you start like seeing those results, like you can't stop, because it's that effect where it starts spreading into other parts of your life too. And maybe that's what pushes us even further, is that everything just gets better.
You know, I think it just came to me.
Ooh, let's hear it.
You know what's different about us?
What?
Because a big chunk of what we've been talking about, I understand it's kind of cliched and it's been said before. And we've had the same hardships, we've had the same confusions, we've had the same kind of journeys, trial and error, this and that. And the thing is, like we're discussing and talking about how this program is simpler, it works, and it's the easiest thing we've done. We only have to work out 4 days a week. We don't really have to watch our diet. The metabolism goes up and all that stuff. And still, I only have about 25-30 people who are following this stuff. You know what it is? It's pain tolerance. Jordan can handle more pain than you. So let's talk about Jordan. This is why Jordan made it this far. It's because Jordan can handle more pain than you. All right? So all this stuff that we've been talking about, Jordan made a whole year and she just stopped drinking alcohol and this and that, blah, blah. It's been a journey. It's because she can just tolerate more pain than you. All right? It's painful coming to the gym and working out around the fittest people on the planet. My gym, like self-made training facility, and my clients. So if you're a newbie and you're coming in, my clients are way stronger than you. If you're a dude coming in, I guarantee you if not everything, at least on half the lifts, my girls are gonna lift more than you. That's painful to watch.
Yeah.
It's painful spending $300-400 a month every month and barely seeing anything, and waiting 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years to look exactly the way you really want to look. That's painful. When you get injured, going to the gym, that's painful. Learning a new move. I'm not the easiest coach to train with. You know, going in there tired, going in there and your trainer not really caring about you being tired, that's painful. You know?
Some of us may even have temper tantrums
Exactly.
now and then and storm off.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you want to get in the car and go home, but you keep coming back in for a purpose. It's awkward. It's painful. I mean, every once in a while, you're not gonna have enough money to pay your coach. Now you'll have to cut back on your trip. That Gucci purse you wanted to get, that's painful. Oh, you can't tolerate that pain? I'm just gonna cancel my coach. I'll cancel my training, and I'm gonna go buy that purse, go on that vacation instead. Yes. Do I expect my clients to cancel their vacation so they can pay me and continue? Those are the people who are going to stay. Yes, absolutely, because that's painful. You know, when, oh, somebody's in town, it's somebody's birthday, somebody's bachelorette party, this thing, that thing. Everybody is going out, everybody's drinking, everybody's having a good time. Oh, but you're not drinking, you're not eating garbage. You're just sitting at home or you're sitting at the table while everybody's getting fucked up and you're just drinking your Diet Coke. That shit is painful. It's painful to watch everybody having fun when you're sitting at home eating your burger patties. It's painful to wake up at early in the morning when you're on 2 hours of sleep and going to the gym because that's the only time you can go to the gym. It's painful to go back into the gym after you had a pissing contests with your coach because you couldn't get the form, or he was being an asshole, or you were being a brat, or whatever. The next morning you have to still go in there and still train with that guy and still in that environment. Why? Because you don't care about what he's thinking, you don't care about your feelings, you're in there for a goal because you want to change your physique. Jordan, like you, Cynthia, all like you guys can tolerate more pain than most men that I've trained, and that's why you are here. That's why, through the pain of that personal life, all that stuff. I don't know much about your personal life. I'm not going to comment on it, but I know every single motherfucker watching over here goes through some shit. And the first thing the weaklings are going to do are they're going to stop getting up in the morning, stop going to work, stop going to work out, stop being a nice guy, stop being a good husband, stop being a good father. Listen, life happens. You're going through financial hardships, personal hardships, this shit, that shit. It's your pain tolerance. How much pain can you tolerate and keep going forward? It's painful for me to wake up at 5 in the morning. Right now, I want to be taking a nap. We're doing a fucking podcast because we skipped last week.
Whoops.
But
also, I was going to say, like, I've been in those places where the pain is so bad, like you can't get out of bed. And that could be physically, that could be mentally. It does happen, but you need to be able to accept it and ask for help if you need to. You need to pull yourself out of that hole. And you need to fight it. And even that, I guess, is painful in itself. But you can't just, like, fall into the swamp and be miserable, and you got to pull yourself out. At least have that strength to pull yourself out so you can start that momentum and get yourself going in a good direction. That's what I'll say about that.
Really well done. And this is where I'm going to end.
Okay.
You need to have a high pain tolerance. Put yourself through pain. Put yourself through pain, dude. Wake up earlier than you need to. If you're worried about the cold, take a cold shower every single day. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Otherwise, life is going to throw something uncomfortable at you and it's going to take you out. That's why you get a $5,000 hit, $500 hit out of nowhere. Somebody passes away. You go through a breakup. Your car gets towed, and mentally you just go berserk. All right? I'm going to tell you, Having your own business, she has her own business. I have my own business. It's painful. It's very stressful. It's very, very stressful. Watching our dad, I mean, constantly, yeah, it's painful. I mean, I get tired of eating fucking burger patties, dude. She gets tired of seeing my ass 4 days a week, 4 hours, yelling at her about her form. It's painful. Every once in a while, dude, you can buy a Mercedes with the money you're paying me a month. That's painful. Every once in a while, you want to go out and have a few drinks, and you don't do it. That's painful. But I will promise you, it is way more painful to be fat, sick, broke, weak, and being stepped on all your life by everybody around you. Your husband, your wife, your friends, your parents, all that stuff. Start handling more pain, and all that other shit pain is going to go away.
Yeah, one more point I want to make too is also like, think about your life. Like you said, we all have things that we've been through. We all have traumas. And we're all here now. Like, we've had to deal with hard things. Tap into that. Like, you've already overcome so much. Really, you know? Use that as your model and keep it going. Yeah, that's all.
Could you repeat that again so I can follow it one more time?
To tap into your old pain a little bit. You know, like if you, like, for example, like, you know, my mom passed away in 2021. That was one of the hardest friggin' things I've ever had to do, ever had to go through, ever. But I overcame that, you know, like, I don't know if you ever really overcome it, but, you know, I didn't die. I survived. I was able to work through it. I was able to gain acceptance and understanding. It's hard, but the more hard things you overcome and get through, the stronger you are. So it's okay to like tap into your old pain too and just be like, you know what? I went through that. I can get through this.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm glad I had you repeat that.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. It's that strength you gain from overcoming that pain is what took you this far. And everybody watching, if you're alive and you've been alive for a little bit, you've gone through some pain that you overcame. It doesn't matter if you're broke. It doesn't matter if you're fat. It doesn't matter if your joints hurt. It doesn't matter if you're old. It doesn't matter if you think that nothing's going to change and you're trapped. You have overcome things that would have been impossible. Like I can't imagine going through a loss of my mother. I don't know if I could have gone out of it, but you have. I went through a divorce. You didn't go through that. You don't know if you could have. We've all gone through stuff that was very painful and it was very challenging, and we got out of it. I remember sometimes somebody saying that if you make a circle with the people around you and you start throwing your problems onto the table and you see everybody else's problems and the hardships, you will actually start picking those up and put them back because you will feel embarrassed for being a bitch. So all of you guys, actually, I was just going through that, and now it makes me understand that it's not that some people have it and some people don't. Everybody has it. Each and every one of us has gone through something painful that we overcome. Yeah. And what Jordan is saying is absolutely 100% true. Think about that. You went through that. You can easily, like, if you've gone through that pain, changing is easy, because with that pain was just hurting you and you couldn't do anything about it. You have to overcome it. The new pain you put on yourself, the pain of investing in yourself, the pain of saying no to alcohol, the pain of saying no to the people who are a bad influence in your life, the pain of saying no to parties, pain of saying no to a bad diet, eating shit food, the pain of saying no to your cravings, the pain of waking up early and still going to the gym, the pain of putting your finances aside, saying no to the shit that you want to do, and paying for it could be a coach, training program, or don't get paid, like just going to the gym. That's all pain. All of you guys have tolerated way harder pain that you have to tolerate to improve yourself. Just like Jordan.
Yeah.
Good job for staying over for a year.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping me for a year.
Awesome. All right.
Well, like, review, rate, subscribe, whatever, all the things you're supposed to do on podcasts.
And yeah, follow
Follow us on Instagram
at Cosmo Jordan.
at Grandmaster Gaines.
And if this video doesn't record, I'm going to post that other video, Jordan.
Oh, no. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching / listening.